Sometimes science feels more confusing than a strange dream, and yet it's real. While most people imagine perfectly organized labs, the truth is that some of the biggest breakthroughs were born from ideas that sound almost absurd. How do you explain a cat that exists in two states at the same time, or a brain that stays alive without having a body to control? And what about ordinary people who turn authoritarian in just a few days because someone told them they could? These stories sound exaggerated, but they shaped how we understand consciousness, power, and even reality itself. And what if these experiments reveal that the world works in ways no one is truly prepared to accept? Today, you'll discover 3 cases so unbelievable they could be fiction, but they're 100% real. When Schrödinger imagined a cat that would be both alive and dead, he wasn't trying to be funny. He wanted to show how strange the world of quantum physics really is. This paradox exposes how the duality of matter breaks everything the human mind considers logical. It sounds ridiculous, almost like a scientific prank, but it reveals a hidden reality where things can exist in multiple states before they're observed. It's as if nature itself enjoys playing with the limits of science. Schrödinger wanted to prove that if we follow certain quantum interpretations literally, we end up stuck in ideas that challenge our own consciousness. The cat became a symbol of this clash between logic and the unpredictable, between the world we see and the world that exists behind the curtain. And the deeper scientists explored this thought experiment, the clearer it became that the real issue wasn't the cat, but our struggle to accept a reality that doesn't obey common sense. A perfect paradox to lead into the next mystery. When neuroscientist Robert White attempted to keep a brain alive outside the body, many thought he was insane. But he saw it as a frontier science had never dared to touch. The idea of preserving consciousness without a body raises a question that makes anyone uncomfortable. How far should science go when it tries to cross the limits of human nature? White managed to keep brains functioning for brief moments, proving something that once seemed impossible. And then another question inevitably appeared. What actually makes someone? The experiment ignited massive debates, because if a brain can live in isolation, what else might science be capable of in the future? This question shakes beliefs, ethics, and even our concept of consciousness itself. It was an incredible breakthrough, but loaded with a deep paradox. The more scientists discovered, the harder it became to ignore the consequences. White's work became a warning. Not every experiment should be repeated, even when it reveals something extraordinary. In the famous Stanford prison experiment, ordinary people took on the role of guards and within days started behaving as if they had absolute authority. Human behavior changed so quickly that even the researchers were shocked by the duality between who someone is and who they can become under pressure. The line between consciousness and abuse vanished, revealing a hidden reality. When the environment shifts, the mind shifts with it. And that unpredictable turn was only the beginning of the chaos. The prisoners, even knowing the whole thing was an experiment, began experiencing real stress, as if they were truly imprisoned. The fake authority grew so strong that the study turned dangerous far too quickly. That's why the experiment had to be shut down. It went too far, too fast, and today it remains an unsettling reminder of how easily human nature can break when someone hands another person too much power. In the end, these experiments leave one clear message. Understanding reality is far more complicated than it seems. Quantum physics challenges logic, science pushes ethical limits, and human behavior can shift in frightening ways when someone receives too much power. And that raises a question only you can answer. How much do we truly know about ourselves? If these cases left you intrigued, imagine what else is still hidden out there. Comment which of the 3 shocked you the most and why. And if you want to keep exploring real mysteries, deep curiosities, and stories that challenge everything you believe, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. The next video might twist your perception even more.